Hello, you lads, you lovelies, you everyone in between. So, I thought I should talk a little bit about the Pimax Crystal launch. There's some stuff to say about it. I mean, it's uh, well, it uh, it's been a shit show, and if the Crystal is like your first Pimax headset, and you really haven't done a ton of research into Pimax, then this might be surprising to you. But for us more experienced Pimaxians, then this is normal. This is exactly kind of what I figured. I mean, the exact method in which the shit show happens was, anyone's guess. But I think most Pimaxians knew that there would be a show and that there would be shit. So that's certainly what we've got. This is a standard Pimax launch. There you go. This is just normal. That's true. Without any exaggeration or frippery. So, the big thing, of course, has been that people aren't getting the final lenses. They're getting polycarbonate lenses. That's still what I have as a beta tester, even. Yeah. Mine are great, though, that said. But there's been some quality control issues with a lot of the people's lenses. They're getting weird effects that I'm just not getting on mine. And I can only really talk of the sample size I have of exactly one crystal. I hope and I doubt this will continue to be an issue on the glass lenses, but honestly, who the hell knows? Yeah. So, yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. And there's even been some fairly ridiculous rumors floating around that, not everyone is getting the glass lenses. Everyone is getting the glass lenses. In fact, the eye tracking does not even work on the polycarbonate lenses. So you definitely are getting glass lenses, and that's supposed to be happening throughout this and the next month. Beta test for the eye tracking should be starting this coming Friday. That should be the 9th. Hopefully that happens. The thing is, our question is, are we even going to have the glass lenses then? Because we're all still on polycarbonate lenses. So hopefully Pimax really ships the missing parts out to us. Otherwise, we're going to have an eye tracking beta without, eye tracking. So, yeah, that'll be rather boring. All right, that's fine. We'll get there eventually. From then, I would expect beta to be something like 2 weeks, maybe 3. And then you'll start to see it happen, the updates sent out to everyone else, who by then hopefully have third-class lenses. It's a fairly aggressive timetable. I personally would have a healthy dose of skepticism for that, however, so keep that in mind. I would say by the end of July, I would expect things to be more in order. So June, this month, is when we're mostly focusing on glass lenses, but getting eye tracking functioning. That's the primary focus of what's happening this month. Next month, July, we will be focusing on the standalone and the wireless. Now that's exciting, isn't it? We're certainly excited for wireless. I know I am. So that will be hopefully next month. So that's going to be a pretty big deal. I have also heard that the lighthouse faceplate should become available sometime this month or in July also. So these are going to be fun and interesting months for crystal owners. Yeah. So Pimax did release a statement clarifying that the polycarbonate lenses are indeed temporary, you are getting the glass lenses. So if you're unsure yourself, go ahead and contact Pimax. They'll probably just point you to that little press release. But nonetheless, you are definitely going to get the glass lenses, and they're going to be awesome. I hope. I've never actually seen them. So I think that's the biggest thing. Like, there's definitely been more fuss with the general release of the Crystal than what we really experienced in beta. Beta actually for us went, for most of us, fairly smoothly. My headsets worked just fine from day one. I've had no serious distortion or CA or any of the problems I'm kind of seeing people bring up. For me, I plugged it in and it worked. Yeah, that's been, for the most part, my experience with it. And for, I think, most people, that is the experience with it. But, you know, not everyone's. It's Pimax. It's the Pimax experience. Yeah. I think, like, when we're talking about the Crystal launch, I honestly really don't know what was going on with Pimax. I think that they were tired of people saying, where's the Crystal? When is it finally shipping? Look at all these delays. And they thought it would be less bad to ship out slightly incomplete units than to actually just wait for the glass lens production to ramp up. I don't think they anticipated as many problems with the polycarbonate lenses as that we're actually seeing. I believe that Pimax thought people would be happy to be just tided over with the polycarbonate lenses until they could get the proper lenses in the end, and it really wouldn't have been this big a deal. But that's really not how it went down. For me, I was a beta tester, and I was fully aware what was happening the entire process. Most people seem to be under the impression that they would be getting glass lenses, and were quite disappointed, especially if their polycarbonate lenses weren't very good and had bad distortion. So I can see why they're upset, certainly. Like in my case, we knew, oh, we're getting poly lenses and the glass ones will come later. And we were like, okay, fine, whatever, big deal. But they didn't tell everyone that. That's the problem. They have now, but a lot of people were upset by that. And of course, they're wondering, you know, where a lot of the features that are on the product page are right now. Namely, where's the eye tracking? Where's the wireless? And there's other things too. You can talk about what the Crystal failed to deliver on. You know, it was originally supposed to have a facial tracker. It didn't. Those are a bit niche, I would probably say. It's just as VR chatters that really want to have that facial tracker. You are getting the eye tracker though, so that's wicked. But, you know, a Vive facial tracker does work with Crystal. I'm going to make maybe a video about this later if there's any interest in it. Because you can get it to work, but it will not just work. It's a Pimax. There's going to be extra steps. Yeah. Oh yes. We should not forget about the cable fiasco. During beta, I complained about the stock cable being a piece of shit. And I complained bitterly about it. And then when this started shipping out to people, and a little bit before that, we were told we're getting new cables, and that when people were getting their brand new Crystals, they were reporting that they came with the fiber optic cable. I said, oh good, Pimax listened. People aren't going to have to be stuck with that miserably short, thick, heavy, inflexible crap cable. Fantastic. Good for you, Pimax. That's the smart move. I like that. Well done. That was wrong. Perhaps I should have known. Hope springs eternal. So does stupidity. It's a lottery. That's what it is. Or the first few people or whatever. They have extra stock of fiber optic cables that you can't buy. But whatever. That's what it is you might get a fiber optic cable, or you might get the worthless, crappy copper one. Honestly, the copper one's fine if you're a sim gamer. But if you do any room scale, I clearly do, then it is the worst piece of crap ever. So, if you have one of those stock 4.5 meter, 5 meter copper cables, they're totally inappropriate for use in a pulley system. They stink. I hate them. I can't express it. Fiber optic cable is fantastic. got the fiber optic cable, then just be happy that it happened. And if you didn't, complain online. But yeah, what a weird way of doing it. Again, Pimax thought they were doing some customers a cool little favor. They're like, hey, as a bonus, yeah, you might get this cool thing extra. You might not, but it wouldn't have been an extra cost to you anyway. So, you know, it's just a fun gift. That's what they thought. But that's, of course, not how it's going to be interpreted by people, right? They're going to feel a bit cheated that they get that shitty cable. At least with the glass lenses, there's the knowledge that you are going to get the correct lenses. It's just a matter of time. So, okay, be patient, it'll get there. That's different than now you have to fork out for a useful cable, right? Again, if you're a sim gamer, it won't make a difference to you. But if you're someone who does, you know, room scale, you're going to want that fiber optic cable, and it's going to be disappointing if you don't get it. Speaking of lenses, there's more lens fiasco. This one, however, is a little different. One of the questions people are asking is, hey, only one set of lenses. Where's the 42 ppd lens? You said there would be a 42 ppd lens. Where is it? Where's my 42 ppd lens? Okay, well, here it is. Maybe nowhere. They have a 42 ppd lens. But here's the thing. Nobody really wanted it. A handful of people definitely do have a usage case for the 42 ppd lens. But it does cut the FOV quite a bit. And as a result of that loss of FOV, which is already average, right? We all know about that FOV gate. We all know about it by now. No need to rehash it again. But it's fine. It's usable. It looks good in the headset as it is. So whatever. You live with it. It's also Pimax. What did you expect? So the 42 ppd lens, although very sharp, obviously, hasn't been popular. And my spies within Pimax have informed me that even the Pimax staff don't particularly like the 42 ppd lens. So, what people really want is that wide FOV lens. That's the one we really want, and Pimax is aware of this. Right now, they're wondering, well, if nobody wants the 42 ppd lens, and they all do want a wide FOV lens, why don't we just give them that? And I think that actually makes a lot of sense. But again, Pimax never likes to actually tell anybody just what it is they're up to. I don't know why not. They could. They just don't. I don't know. I have to find out from my secret agents. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I, myself, don't really care about the 42 ppd lens. The 35 is already so amazing and so sharp, even on the crappy polycarbonate lenses. If you can give me a wider FOV without really lowering the actual PPD, which is how it's going to work, is the wide FOV lenses are still 35 ppd, so I'm told. But what you will have is a much sharper drop off of PPD toward the edges. And then you can decide yourself if that is a trade-off that's worth it to you. Personally, for me, I think it probably is, but I'm not going to know until I get it. But that's what's going on with the second set of lenses, is Pimax isn't sure what sort of lenses, as the alternate lenses, they want to ship out yet, because I don't know. They said 42. I think they even stopped referencing the alternate lenses as 42 ppd lenses and just as alternate lenses. There's some other option they're going to offer you. I think in a perfect world, they would just ask you, do you want the 42 or the wide? That way, there's nobody who's disappointed, because I know some people did want the 42 over the wide FOV. They're fine with the FOV as it is. What they really want is some use cases for an even sharper display. And well, that's what they thought they were buying. That's what they were told, right? Even though we'd all prefer the wide FOV, nonetheless, there were people who were expecting the 42. So just changing it to the wide willy-nilly may please more people overall, but it does give some people a very legitimate grievance. So there's that complication. Overall, it's just been a magnificent shit show. I mean, I have no doubt at all that this is gonna get resolved, and in a few months' time, this will just be fun memories. Classic Pimax. Those wacky fellas. Who knows what they'll do next? Yeah, I don't. So, there you go. There's some updates, some commentary on the Crystal launch. It doesn't have to be long. You know, I'm just letting you know what I know, and just some observations about that launch. It is going to get sorted out. It is. The Crystal is the best headset on the market right now, in my opinion, and anyone who buys that, shows a little patience, I think is going to be greatly rewarded. But boy, Pimax, why are you like this? Especially because we've continually warned them about this sort of weird behavior. We've told them their communication is unacceptably bad. And yet they keep doing the same thing over. And they're just never going to change. So for as long as you're Pimaxing, you're just going to have to get used to them being very strange people. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. It's the Pimax experience. But you know what? I love my Crystal. I can't wait to get the glass lenses. I can't wait to tout the eye tracking. I'm looking forward to playing around and testing the lighthouse faceplate. I'm definitely looking forward to wireless. I can't wait to try that out. Especially on something like the catwalk where you're just essentially standing around rotating in place, right? Any cable, even the fiber optic one, is eventually going to bind up and just be shitty, and you're going to have to spin in place to unspool it. It's very annoying. And wireless will fix that. Oh, another thing. Can't believe I almost forgot. The link box. Where is the link box? It's not called a link box, a USB hub connector power thing. Doesn't matter what it's called. Because, you know, no one's seen it or heard anything about it. I don't know. I have nothing about that. My suspicion is that there might be a new cable involved. But I don't know. It's just speculation. But if the whole point is to deliver more power to the headset, you're not going to do that over USB-A. It's already maxed out. We'll see. We will see. Hopefully this all works out. And I don't doubt that Pimax is still working on the power optimization. So maybe they don't need a new cable, but you're not going to hear from Pimax. They're not going to tell you nothing. We're going to have to wait for one of their employees to do whatever they do, get drunk and spill the beans on Discord or whatever it is that happens. Yeah. I should just start sending them cases of booze, see if I can get some knowledge out of them. Get them drunk. I don't know. It's Pimax. Anyway, that's it. That's just really what I wanted to say. Just let you know what I know. And say, boy, that launch was shit. It's gonna work out. But they really couldn't have done it worse than they did. But that's also par for the course. Dare I say par for the Pimax. So, there it is. That's lovelies. Everyone in between, thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.